like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though? What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
We got young Chris in the TD booth, JB's from 1 to 2s, and my man Flannel Sam, coming fresh off of 2 L's today in the hot dog suit.
Got dragged by Lindsey Hunter.
He took the loss in the pick'em. Yeah, then on BD today, if you guys missed it, he got by Lindsey Hunter.
Are you sure I didn't get Lindsey Hunter? Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
We are sure, yes. But to be fair, like he definitely still got you. But also, I feel like he could have got you more. But D-Mac kept, you know how D-Mac is.
Yeah.
D-Mac kept trying to save him.
Yeah. So that's what it was. Is D-Mac was saving you from Lindsey Hunter?
I think he was saving Lindsey Hunter from my excellent points. Hey.
Dude, Lindsey Hunter's a 2-time champ, no? Yeah.
Now, Lindsey Hunter was like super nice. It was like legitimately amazing to get to do a show with Lindsey Hunter and Darren McCarty. I mean, obviously, like D-Mac has become more of like a friend to all of us and a coworker. But when you really sort of take a step back, Lindsey Hunter and Darren McCarty on one show.
Yeah, my friends tell me that all the time. They're like, dude, you just like hang out with D-Mac every day. I'm like, yeah. That's D-Mac. They're like, yeah, he's like a Detroit sports icon. I'm like, yeah, he is.
Yeah. You forget that part, though.
You forget it,
really
because he's just such a cool guy.
It's funny because
so down to earth.
People like
it's a blessing of our job.
People like worship him a bit, and then like there's the guys in the back, or like at times like us too, like you get like annoyed. I'm like, God damn it, D-Mac.
Yeah.
Damn it, Braylon. You know what I'm saying? But telling other people, they're like, oh my God. We're like, you ass, you butt. I don't know words I can say anymore. You butthole. That works. I remember. Obviously, I'm really comfortable around Braylon. Obviously, we were comfortable around D-Mac now, too. But it took me a while. Joik was the one that took a while because Joik was like a quiet dude.
Yeah.
He's like really like to himself a little bit. What was that? Is there a fly in here? You need the computer noise for that.
No, there was something going on. I think it was a fuzz.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. I was in the morning Woodward chat today. Speaking of in the chat, keep an eye out for Fish. He said he's going to be in there today. If you guys see Fish in the Woodward Sports chat, hit the like button.
I don't see him yet.
Not yet. Maybe he's lying to me.
He probably is. Probably watching soccer.
Probably, honestly. But nonetheless, in the morning Woodward chat, UFC came up. We were discussing the Thompson versus Holland card.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are calling that fight of the year. Are you in agreement with that or what?
No, I think Chandler Poirier was fight of the year still.
I thought the same thing too. Because even looking back at the Holland-Thompson fight, like it was entertaining to watch because they were like, mostly striking. Dude, to be honest with you, Izzy and Pereira should be up there too.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
But because to me, Thompson was like clearly like whooping his ass. I feel like Holland had like one moment in that fight, and the rest was like him just getting his ass beat. That can't be fight of the year for me. It's got to be like both ways.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It has to be a good fight. It has to be a good scrap. T-City and Volk.
Yeah. Was that this year, though?
I don't think that was this year.
That might have been last year.
Yeah. That should be fight of the year, whatever year it was in.
Yeah.
So that was a scrap.
That was a scrap. The one, and this was for sure last year, Chandler versus Gaethje. That was a banger, too.
That was a banger.
But Holland, again, no disrespect to Holland and obviously Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson, damn near 40 years old, still whooping ass.
Wonder boy, yeah, still doing his thing, man.
That's pretty sweet.
Wonder man now.
But to me, it was just so much of a one-sided fight that I can't really call it like fight of the year.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
But anyway, in the morning Woodward chat, they were talking about, they like that we talk UFC, and you and I are usually hesitant to talk like stuff we don't think that a lot of people are going to be like interested in. But like, if you tell us, you're like, yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
You are
interested in UFC?
No, like hesitant to talk about stuff you don't think people are interested in. I don't care. I talk about what I want.
That's fair.
I bring something up, he's like, no, it's not like that.
Nah.
Well, it depends what it is. Like, are you talking about the Michigan State stuff?
Talk about a lot of different stuff.
What else? Baseball?
Yeah, pretty much anything that I bring up.
There was actually a baseball graphic I saved, did not send, because Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer are playing on the same team.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, Verlander got signed. And breaking news, Baker Mayfield signed to the Rams.
Yep.
So Baker Mayfield's going to help the Lions get that number 1 overall pick.
Do you think that we should be concerned a little bit about our draft pick now or no?
No.
Still in the same
Baker
hands?
Sucks. Yeah, what?
I know, but he's got to be better than who's the backup there now?
I don't know, but he's not better than Stafford, and the Rams sucked when Stafford was in there.
And who do they have to throw to?
Well, my thing is like it's an upgrade over whoever the hell's there now. Like we can't even name who it is. It's that Sam. Do you know?
Was it like John Wolford? Was that his name?
Yeah,
It was Bryce Perkins.
Bryce
Perkins, that's what it was. Yeah, both those guys. I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell. But I made a graphic specifically for this. So I want to bring it back, all right? Because currently the reigning, defending UFC heavyweight champion is Francis Ngannou.
Yes, it is.
And his power has yet to been matched. He's a beast. You're quick with the draw. But white people, you have found your Francis Ngannou. This is Sergey Pavlovich. He's a Russian. That's the scariest type of Watt, if I'm being honest with you.
Russian?
Yeah, the Russians.
Spicy Watt. That's spicy Watt.
Or like a deep southern Watt.
Well, that's scary for a different reason.
Yeah, that's true.
But
they're still big country fed.
Russia, cornbread, corn-fed.
Yeah.
Russian are probably the scariest.
For sure. But Sergey Pavlovich, Tai Tuivasa is a bad man. You saw him knock out Derek Lewis.
Yes.
Sergey Pavlovich going off of a first-round KO of Derek Lewis. And then Tai Tuivasa, who can eat shots with the best of them, survived Derek Lewis, was KO'd within a minute of the first fight. Put the graphic back up there, Chris, if you don't mind. This is a less than a minute of fight time. And this is what his face looked like.
He did that to him in under a minute.
And knocked him out at the same time. And this is like a top 5 heavyweight in the UFC right now.
Yes.
Why people you found your Francis Ngannou?
Where does Dana find these guys, man?
I don't know, but that guy is terrifying.
Yes, that is scary.
Because now he doesn't have the power. He's like actually like skilled too. And by the skip John Jones, skip whoever the hell else is waiting. I want Francis versus him right now.
Really?
Oh yeah. You don't?
I mean, I do, but I want to see John Jones fight.
Francis?
Yeah.
Just because you want to see John Jones knocked out, or because you genuinely want to see the fight?
No, because I want to see him fight.
Yeah. I want to see this guy versus Francis.
Him versus Francis would be a fun fight for sure. It would be a clash of titans. Just insane power versus insane power.
Literally. Because who's it right now? Isn't John supposed to be fighting somebody else for like whoever fights Francis next?
I thought him and Francis were fighting.
I don't know. We have to look it up. If you guys know the Woodward Sports Chat, let us know too. Shout out to Mike in the chat. Jesse. I want to see if I see. I'd rather see John Jones fight either of those guys, just because, like, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of John Jones as like a human being. He's kind of like become a bit of a scumbag. So it would be nice to see him in there with somebody who could like put out his lights. You know, that's all I'm saying. Were you gonna say something, Chris?
No.
Oh, did you find it?
It's John Jones versus Francis Ngannou at UFC 285 on March 4th.
Well, I guess that's it.
Gary Goodridge.
Well, Sergey's up next. That's all I gotta say.
He's waiting in the wings.
Yeah, I want that so bad, because maybe I don't though. He's more technically sound than Francis.
I don't want to just feed him to the beast immediately though.
Sergey?
Yeah, let him get
Oh, he's ready, bro.
Well, yeah, I know.
Dude, in under a minute.
Yeah, that is impressive.
And like,
Ty's no slouch. You know, that's a good win.
100%.
I think he'll fight Cyril Gane or Curtis Blades next.
Didn't Ty fight Cyril Gane for the interim championship?
Yeah.
Like, that's like Ty's a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. And
him and Francis, like, there's no straight shots. It's like those rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah.
And it's just whoever goes out first. And give me a three-peat of that. And whoever comes out top carries on and faces actual contenders. I don't know. Where you guys in Woodward Sports Chat? Corey McLean says John Jones the GOAT.
Facts.
I see the PEDs do it for me. Like, obviously on the PEDs, like, this one he had like his dominant reign.
Yeah.
Or question, because you can't say for sure that he was, but like once the UFC started testing, he got popped multiple times.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, like during his reign on PEDs, post PEDs, like he's not that same guy.
I mean, how many fights have we seen him post PED? Like 3?
Gustafsson, which is technically he still had like trace amounts in there, which he didn't. Like, Gustafsson's not the same guy. He's obviously going on his little bit of a slide.
Yeah. Dominic Reyes, which he almost lost to. Thiago Santos, which he almost lost to. Yeah. Both guys that are kind of just like not the same. I mean, the light heavyweight division isn't nearly what it used to be though, as a whole.
Yeah.
Light heavyweight is probably the weakest division.
But that's what I'm saying. He barely beat those guys.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, after 30 fights, the dude's been fighting forever.
After not being on steroids.
Yeah.
You know?
And doing cocaine.
But, I mean, cocaine, I don't think it's going to, like...
Bunch of cocaine.
You get hurts him like that? Mike Tyson did a lot of cocaine.
Yeah,
he was a champion.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I'm not blaming cocaine. I just think the PEDs, juiced him up a little bit. King Horse and Woodward Sports Chat. Easy on PEDs, personal eating disorder. Damn, that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Jesse Adams and on the same boat as me. The coke and hitting women made me not like him.
Yeah.
You already know how I feel about that. Especially, dude, if you're hitting a woman and you're like an alpha male. You know what I'm saying? Like, you beat up other humans while on steroids. That's why I want to see him fight Francis, though. I want to see John Jones get slept. Although I do agree he has a great skill set. What are you looking at?
I'm trying to see what he actually got popped for. Hydroxychloroquine.
I think the first time he got popped.
Yeah, their flagged substances were anti-estrogen.
Yeah, that's what you take.
Yeah, they're used to counteract steroids.
Yeah, it's like when you come in like off your cycle. Yeah, that's what we got. So like, you only take that stuff if you're coming off a cycle or like you have cancer or something like that.
Yeah. Which
is like, it's either like breast cancer or like vaginal cancer that you would take. Like, it's like Clomid or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude's definitely juicing.
Probably, yeah.
Like, come on.
More than likely.
And I'm a big DC guy.
You Barry Bonds fan?
I guess. I'm not a baseball guy, but yeah. My opinion on steroids in baseball, bring it back.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so boring right now.
Steroids should definitely be back in baseball. I want to see everybody juiced up, hitting as many home runs as they can.
Like, who are they hurting?
Yeah.
And like, okay, like here's the point. Like, okay, there's some guys that don't want to do it and ruin their body. All right, see the double A's, bud. Like, bad luck for you. This guy's willing to do it.
What do you feel about that, Sam? Do you want to see steroids back in baseball?
I don't necessarily need to see steroids back in baseball, but I think like guys like Barry Bonds and A-Rod and Roger Clemens, they should obviously be in the Hall of Fame because those are some of the greatest baseball players to ever play. And their accomplishment shouldn't just be sullied because they took substances that a lot of people were taking. That's my opinion. Steroids today, I don't really care, but no, you shouldn't get punished for taking them back in the day. It was so like widespread.
I think they should have their own league where they all just do steroids. They use metal bats.
Oh my god!
It's just a hammer fest. The games end like 35-14 or something like that.
NBA scoring games.
700-foot home runs.
Bring it back. Yeah. Like, you gotta think of it this way too. Like, I feel like the reason why basketball is so global, like, one, obviously you can play it anywhere. You don't necessarily need like a baseball bat to play. You just need a ball and something that resembles like a basket, and you can play it like worldwide. But the highlights though, like, the highlights float around Twitter, and it's like, you know, then it's a reel, and just gets spread over and over again like that. Baseball, get them the juice, let them hit these 500-foot bombs.
Yeah.
Let that be a Twitter clip, a YouTube clip, a reel. Like, that's. I mean, truly, if you want to grow the game, especially within like the younger generations,
that's what people want to see. You want to see just dudes juiced up out of their minds hitting 100%. Bombs.
Because you know what else becomes a thing too? Actually, now I'm thinking about it, like fantasy football. That's one of the reasons for like popularizing like football, right?
Yes.
Like, I know guys that have joined like fantasy football leagues just to be a part of the boys and part of like their office chats and stuff like that, and then they end up watching football because they want to win their teams. They want to be able to talk shit to the boys, like. Juice up the baseball players, and maybe fantasy baseball becomes a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a thing now, but like, does anybody give a shit to play it? You know?
Yeah. No.
I don't.
No.
I hardly care to play.
You have to be some kind of psycho if you play fantasy baseball.
Every single day.
Every 162 games, like, no thanks. I'm good on that.
I'm so good on that.
And Marcus Willis in the Woodward Sports Chat saying Penix is returning. Yeah, it was announced yesterday that Michael Penix is going back to Washington. He's not going to be entering the NFL draft, so people who wanted Michael Penix, you're gonna have to wait a year at least.
I don't get it though. Why would he? I don't understand why he'd wait.
He could be a higher draft pick next year, maybe. He feels like if he goes out and shows out for another year, maybe he could be a first rounder.
I don't know which website it was. I think it was actually the NFL Rookie Watch. They announced that Anthony Richardson is entering the draft as well.
Anthony Richardson entered the
They had him like mocked as like a 3rd overall pick. Is that the case? Is he nice like that, Sam?
No. I'm not an Anthony. No, I'm not an Anthony Richardson guy. He's not a good enough thrower of the football. He's one of those guys. I keep hearing about him. He never shows us.
Yeah.
Ever.
I agree. His arm talent is a little suspect.
100%. Well, we got a big show for you guys. Today we crown officially Amon-Ra St. Brown as a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. So I'm super excited to do that. But before I do that, let me tell you guys about Decked Out Detroit. All right, downtown Detroit is all decked out this holiday season with the return of the Cadillac Lodge and Monroe Street Midway. The Midway has a giant slide, winter bumper cars, and an indoor arcade. Plus, you grab drinks at the Lodge before and after games. Shop, eat, and play downtown all winter long with DeckedOutDetroit.com.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-FIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
We got Young Chris in the TD booth, JB Spool with the 1s and 2s, and Flannel Sam in the Wiener suit. Flannel Sam, there's a specific question that Jesse Adams wants me to ask you.
Oh boy.
Do you have the chat actually pull up in front of you?
I do. I didn't catch
you might, all right, I'll just ask it because you have to scroll up before it now. But it says, ask Flannel Sam if Jeff Jackson got into legal trouble for wrecking the 80s wife a couple years ago in Ann Arbor by campus. Just asking.
Yeah, that was Xavier Simpson.
What is that? What happened?
Xavier Simpson crashed Ward Manuel's wife's car.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why was he even driving it?
Who knows?
Sketch.
It is sketch, dude.
The big blue wall strikes again.
Cocaine's hell of a drug.
That was out there.
Yeah.
You know? But they didn't do anything. They called the coaches, called Ward Manuel.
Because that's before NIL.
Yes.
So he definitely gave him the whip to
Yeah, go do something. Yeah.
Was he a good player?
Xavier Simpson, he got bodied by Cassius Winston a couple times.
Honestly, man, not to go off into a tangent, but I was not a Xavier Simpson fan as a Michigan guy. Like a 5'11" little short guy trying to do hook shots. It was stupid.
Yeah.
He was okay.
Yeah.
But
he got owned by Cassius Winston multiple times.
As he should.
Cassius Winston was like
a dog.
A dog.
He just controlled the game. Dude was good. Like I said, though, we do got a big show packed for you guys. We're crowning Amon-Ra St. Brown officially a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. And all 3 of us agree.
Yes.
Which I'm surprised by. Phil, did you get bullied in that one, or you think he's a top 10? Because you're usually the picky one.
No, dude, I absolutely think he's top 10. I mean, did you see the game this past? He was more open more often than I've seen a Lions wide receiver. Maybe, I mean, even more so than Calvin, because Calvin didn't get as open. He was just so big. He was open no matter what.
He was open all the time, every throw.
Yeah,
it's impressive because he does that. He just gets open. He finds the holes in the defense. He finds the pockets in the defense. He gets there. He gets open, and when he gets open, he does not drop the ball. If you throw it to him, he's gonna catch it, and that's what's impressive to me. Including, not only his toughness. We talked about him taking that hit where he got cracked going over the middle. Yep. Got back in there. In 2 plays, he was back out on the field, and it's impressive to watch what he can do after he gets the ball in his hands. After Jared Goff throws him the ball, what he can do after the catch is very impressive.
100%. Should we just do that now?
You want to?
The top 10. You want to do that now, Sam?
We can.
All right, I mean, hey, let's do it. We hyped it up too much, and we already got into the wide receiver conversation.
Fair.
By the way, Cal was always open because he had the catch radius of a 2-car garage.
Yes,
he did. Sports science stuff.
Sports science was dope.
Sports science was dope.
Yeah. That was the coolest thing ever. I will literally remember that as long as I live. The 2-car garage, Calvin Johnson thing, that was so wild.
The Dominican Sue hitting like the force of like a mini SUV.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Insane. There's no way they could afford to keep that around though. Like there was a lot of equipment in that. I'm assuming that's why it's gone, right? Like,
yeah, you got to think so.
100%. But all right, let's do this.
What happened to that guy?
Who should we have go first? Sam or
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Go ahead and pull up Spinney's top 10 wide receivers
My top
in
10
the NFL.
Wide receivers in the NFL right now.
According to Spencer.
We got number 1, Justin Jefferson. I think the guy is a freak of nature. He makes plays on a week-to-week basis that can't be explained by the laws of physics. Number 2, you got Davante Adams, Mr. 7-Eleven, Mr. Always Open, Mr. 10 catches for 150 yards and a touchdown every single game. Love Davante Adams. Number 3, you got Tyreek Hill. You see what the guy's doing. This is his second team that he is having the same dominance on. It is impressive to watch him go out there and play like this no matter where he's at. 4, I'm putting Stephon Diggs because the way he fights off the top of the routes, the way he makes contested catches, it is very impressive. 5, I got DeAndre Hopkins coming back. You know, he got popped for the Peds too, but coming back. The dude is still freaking it. He had one catch where he's falling down, catching it one-handed. The guy is a monster. There's nothing he can't catch. 6, I got Cooper Kupp. He would be higher if he didn't get injured, but, you know, talk about 7-Eleven. Talk about always open. This guy was averaging like 13 targets a game for the beginning of this year. Cooper Kupp is impressive. Number 7, I got Jamar Chase, another guy who just takes the top off the defense, makes a lot of amazing plays. Number 8, I got A.J. Brown. He stepped into that Philadelphia system, didn't miss a beat. He's a big physical guy that you do not want to mess with at the top of routes. He'll push you around. And then number 9, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, the man, the myth, the legend, making plays, playing his way into the top 10. It's very impressive to see what he's doing this young in his career. Number 10, I got Scary Terry McLaurin. I think he doesn't get as much love as he does, or as he should. He's a very impressive receiver, makes acrobatic catch, runs great routes, and is, you know, wins at the top of his routes all the time. And my honorable mentions were Deebo Samuel, Jalen Waddle, Amari Cooper, because I think those guys are all slept on. Amari Cooper, you could talk to any receiver in the NFL or you look at their interviews. He's a top 3 route runner in the NFL. He gets open all the time. He just seems, wherever he goes, he makes plays. I love Amari Cooper. So that is my top 10. I got Amon-Ra checking in at number 9.
Can you throw that back up there real quick? The Way fan, the notorious like hockey fan of the Woodward Sports Chat during the heavyweight show, all he really talks about is hockey, but he's got smoke. He said A.J. Brown at 8.
Yes.
Sam, how do you feel about A.J. Brown at 8?
I'd rather have all those receivers above him. I'd rather have them on my team than A.J. Brown.
I mean, A.J. Brown at 8 is about where I have him. I mean, you'll see that he's
pull it up.
Absolutely worthy of
number
let's
8. See Sam. Sam, let's see your list.
All right.
Here we go, Sam.
All right. At number 1, I have Tyreek Hill. He's leading the NFL in receiving yards this year. He is the single fastest player I have ever seen on a football field and just wrecks games in so many ways like I've never seen any NFL player do it. At 2, I have Justin Jefferson. When you're breaking Randy Moss Vikings records to start your career, you're pretty damn good. You're one of the best in the league. At 3, I have Davante Adams. I mean, you see what he did help with Aaron Rodgers. Basically helped Aaron Rodgers get 2 MVPs. He leaves, Aaron Rodgers is cooked, and now he goes to the Raiders and is putting up the exact same kind of numbers. Absolutely elite. Number 4, I have Jamar Chase. I mean, you saw what he did last year as a rookie, coming in, helping out Joe Burrow, and they go to the Super Bowl. He's one of those guys, comes right in, is obviously one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and you can see it. He proved it last year. 5, Steph Diggs. He's another one that didn't quite live up to his full potential in Minnesota, although he was great. But when he goes to Buffalo, teams up with Josh Allen, they kind of make that perfect combination, and Steph Diggs has done wonders for Josh Allen, and I think vice versa. Number 6, Cooper Kupp. Remember last year, I know he got hurt this year, but last year he came off of, in my opinion, the single greatest season by a wide receiver ever. He's second all-time in receiving yards in a season, and then he wins Super Bowl MVP in the playoffs. That's absolutely elite. Number 7, I've got DeAndre Hopkins. He's been one of the best receivers in the NFL for years, and he's never really had an elite quarterback. He played with the Texans. Now he plays with Kyler Murray. He did get popped for PEDs, but once he's come back, he's been as productive as anybody in the NFL. Number 8, look at that, A.J. Brown. have you seen what A.J. Brown has done for Jalen Hurts this year? Jalen Hurts has taken a seismic step, but I think a lot of that has to do with he has a true number one wide receiver, and you're seeing how great he actually is. I think even more so in Philly than in Tennessee. Number 9, Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle is, I don't want to say Tyreek Hill light, but he's maybe the second fastest receiver in the NFL. His yards per catch is off the charts. He's one of the top in receiving yards this season. He's just one of those targets that if he catches it in space, he's gone. He can take the top off the defense. And number 10, our boy Amon-Ra St. Brown. This dude might be the best pure possession receiver in the NFL right now. I'm not even kidding. What he did against Buffalo and against Jacksonville, just always open, always making the big third down catch. And I actually have a crazy stat. In his last 17 games played, this is a full season, starting with the end of last year and all of this year, 127 catches for 1,390 yards, 11 touchdowns. That is absolutely Cooper Kuppian. I mean, you can't deny that, man. You cannot deny the sun god right now. He is a top 10 wide receiver, and he's showing it this year.
Yeah, the one beef I have with yours, and actually, if you don't mind throwing his up just real quick, I just want to look at his list. I believe Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't have Jalen Waddle in mind, and I'm not going to argue that he's like not in the discussion because he's definitely like towards the bottom of end of it. But like, I'd have Amon-Ra St. Brown over Jalen Waddle for sure, just because of like, I mean, if they've similar situations with quarterbacks in terms of like throwing ability, and Amon-Ra, in my opinion, like comes out on top in that after having he didn't start playing until week 9 last year for the Detroit Lions. But go ahead, throw mine up there if you want, Chris. Here's my top 10. And by the way, good round of applause for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brad Holmes drafted a top 10 wide receiver in the 4th round. Like, I just love this deep discussion we're having. But like, first and foremost, I agree with you, Flannel Sam. Tyreek Hill is it's obviously debatable. I want to say that first and foremost, but Tyreek Hill is the number 1 wide receiver to me. He doesn't get enough credit for being so. I've always said that, and some people look at me as if it's like a hot take, but I'm like, how is he not? Like, he's just unguardable at times. It doesn't matter who he's going against. I don't care if you consider him a slot. I don't care what you consider him. Consider him great. He's one of the best I've seen do it, one of the fastest I've ever seen do it. DeAndre Hopkins, same thing. You see him with multiple quarterbacks. He did play with an elite quarterback with Deshaun Watson for a little bit there. I will say that, but he's always been great when healthy. Maybe he's a little bit of John Jones effects too, though, because he was on the PEDs. I ain't gonna lie. Justin Jefferson, the game against the Bills. That's all I gotta point to. One of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Contested, one-handed, just grabbed it down like a beast. Devontae Adams in there too. He's going off this year. Jamar Chase. Like this, it's so hard to make this list because like I feel like there's a case for each and every one of those guys in that top 5 to be number 1. Matter of fact, the top 6, because Cooper Kupp did what he did last year too. The Triple Crown. It hasn't been done since Jerry Rice. And then on top of that too, he's not the most athletic. So like, to be able to do something like that, that's truly like that's damn impressive. AJ Brown, I gave you crap for him being I didn't give you crap. The way Fink gave you crap for him being at 8. I have him at 7. Stephon Diggs, I have at 8. Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then my 10, honestly, any one of your honorable mentions could fit in there. I really didn't care who.
It is 10, like I said, Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, any of those guys you can put in there.
Well, there you have it. Damn. We went through the whole segment talking that one. 58 votes on Woodward Sports Chat. 81% of you say that Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 10 receiver. 19% of you say no. The good news is we have a certain segment where we're opening up the phone lines for you guys. So the people who say he's not, I'm curious as to why. But before we do that, Spinny, will you tell us about SMA?
Yeah, if you don't think Amon-Ra is top 10, you might need some help. And we got it for you. That is the Sports Marketing Agency, or SMA, because they help spread the awareness of mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com to get the help you deserve.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed-out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play or private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at FoalingWarehouse.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin Morax.
What up, though?
Yo, Chris, the TD Booth, JB Smooth, the 1s and 2s. Flannel Sam in the wiener suit in the Maz chair. We just got done crowning Amon-Ra St. Brown with a top 10, as a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. 75 votes in the chat now, and 17% of you don't think that's the case. I'm open for discussion. Like I said, I mean, we all had him. What number was he for you on your top 10?
9. Yeah, he was 9.
I believe he was 9 for me as well. Flannel Sam, he was 10. He's just at the cusp of it. It's one of those situations I feel like kind of like similar to Cooper Kupp, where it's like you can't say he does any like one thing truly amazing outside of like get open and catch the damn ball. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like. Obviously, he's there statistically because you can't stop him. Teams are fully aware of what they're capable of, and they've yet to find anything to slow it down. But the numbers are there. But you still see these guys like Justin Jefferson and Tyree. They do like the amazing. And I think that refrains like us from like giving an Amon-Ra a higher rating or a Cooper Kupp, because truly, statistically, Cooper Kupp should be number 1.
Yeah.
Based off of last year, how he was going on, and this year too.
I'm not going off of legacy award though. Mm-hmm. I'm going off of who impressed me the most this year.
So it's like this year.
Yeah.
So Cooper Kupp not in there this year?
No, he was, because he when he played, he was playing great. When DeAndre Hopkins wouldn't be on there either if that was the case.
Yeah.
But when per capita,
he was balling.
Capita, he is balling. So this isn't who has the best receiving acumen.
Yeah.
It is who I would want on my team right now as my wide receivers.
What are you about to say, Chris?
I was just going to point to your fact of the highlights being a factor, because as somebody coming into football, like wide receiver is one of the most electric positions. So I think that is what bleeds into a lot of people's rankings, is the players that can make the one-handed grabs and the spectacular catches and all of that, versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy who just, he has good plays, but a lot of times it's just him catching the ball and it's just next play. That's what it is.
Like I said, guys, I am going to tease the rest of the show. To the Jared Goff people, and I don't want to start those conversations now, because you guys will have your moment to actually have those one-on-one conversations with us. We will open up the phone lines today for a Jared Goff segment specifically, but also for the people who don't have Amon-Ra St. Brown in the top 10 or think that we should have him higher. Maybe not the people who think we should have him higher. You're probably on the side of like the slappiness, but like I want to hear those conversations too.
As I understand, you can make an argument that the last couple, there's multiple arguments you can make, like I said, with Terry McLaurin, with Amon-Ra St. Brown, with Mike Evans, with DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel. Those are guys you can argue for, but right now how they're producing, how they're affecting games, he is affecting games more than the rest of them.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, like Mike Evans has fallen off to me in a big way this year. I don't know what's going on. He's had a couple like wide open bombs. He's just dropped.
Yeah.
Uncharacteristically, obviously he's routinely done that throughout his career, but like this year not so much, and that's why he's off of my top 10. Flynn and Sam, I know you look at the Woodward Sports chat, and obviously you're part of the conversation too. Anyone that I guess what is your takeaway from all that?
I mean, my takeaway is that, I mean, it's amazing how quickly Amon-Ra St. Brown has ascended, that we can talk about him as a top 10 receiver, that we all agree. And I don't think it's just because we're Lions fans. I think we see what we see, and what we see is a star. I mean, like I said, all year long, when there's a big third down to be gotten, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the guy, and he's always open, and he always catches the ball.
Yeah.
That's the main takeaway that I get from it, because it is a loaded wide receiver. I mean, the wide receiver position is as deep and as good as it has ever been. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is in the top 10, and he deserves to be in the top 10. And to me, that's just a testament to Brad Holmes, the coaching staff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and his sort of ability to improve. Even a guy like Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Just, it's been amazing to watch the ascension of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I actually, you know what? I'm sorry to do this to you and Spay, and because we prep out the show every day before. We have a sheet. We have doing this topic and this topic, but this does kind of bleed into the Ben Johnson stuff a little bit because Amon-Ra St. Brown was on the team while Anthony Lynn was the offensive coordinator, and he wasn't getting much done. And then Ben Johnson comes in, and you see the emergence of this kid. Could you point to Ben Johnson for a lot of the success of Amon-Ra St. Brown? Or
it definitely helps. He definitely believes in him and gave him the opportunity to go out there and show. I don't think I'm going to point to anybody but Amon-Ra St. Brown for his own success. Because as good as you can scheme somebody open, he still catches the ball every time. Yeah. And what he does after he gets the ball in his hands is equally as impressive. So.
Yeah, and this can mean close to nothing. I know some people get pissed off. I mean, we all do. We all look at the beginning of the year, but the Madden ratings, Amon-Ra St. Brown, was he the number one or number two guy in terms of like catch rating?
Yeah.
Dude's solid. I mean, you look at the play that he had early in the Jags game where it looked like it could have been an interception. The ball was wobbled a little bit.
Yeah.
Ended up hanging on to it. Ends up at the 1 yard line. Like, dude's got hands.
Oh, yeah.
Amon-Ra's got hands. But speaking of that, Ben Johnson, the guy who helped Amon-Ra emerge, the guy who's, in my opinion, helped Jared Goff emerge now, too. And I'm only bringing this up because it kind of bleeds in the same way. I apologize for this. But last week they were talking to him about head coaching jobs. And it's been floated around there more than just, it's no longer us. I know some people were hating on Spinny and I for bringing it up and saying that he could be a future head coach. People are saying, oh, he's very unproven. We haven't seen him yet. You've seen him now.
Yeah.
The dog poop version of Jared Goff you saw last year no longer exists. He's ranking top 10 in quite a few stats. But Ben Johnson, should we officially be scared? Because now it's to the point where like media members are asking him. We're seeing it on NFL.com. He's a hot candidate for a head coaching job. How scared are you? Like, where are you on your radar?
I'm pretty scared. I'm not going to lie. Maybe not for next season, but very soon this guy is going to get snatched up. Maybe not, like I said, next season, but it is only a matter of time. Like I said, these guys, I said this before, young offensive-minded head coaches are what the NFL is all about now. And this is a guy who is revolutionizing, what the Lions are doing on offense. This is a guy who is completely turning around how this Lions offense looks. So it is scary to think of him leaving. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be this offseason where he'll get a head coaching position, but it's going to be very soon. Someone's going to offer him that gig, and he's going to take it. And then the Lions will be left out there with who knows what. Who knows who's up next? Who knows who's waiting in the wings? Because as much as I like Dan Campbell, he's not the analytics guy. He's not the guy that's going to scheme up this kind of offense. That is Ben Johnson. That is thanks to Ben Johnson. So losing him would be a giant detriment to the team.
I've been very vocal on this. I'm terrified of the thought of it because for everything you just said. Like, as much as I love Dan Campbell, as much as he's easy to root for, as much as he gets the guys pumped up, he is not drawing the game plan. He's not that type of guy. He's not the X and O's. He's the final say-so on the X and O's, but who's actually drawing it up is Ben Johnson. And did you end up making that graphic, Chris,
yes,
for the offense? Here's some numbers for the Detroit Lions offense in the season.
It's impressive.
Sam, I'll get your opinion on this too, because Spinny and I have talked about this multiple times, but the most games this season with 30-plus points is the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Wild. And that's 60. I'm sorry, 6.
Yeah. 60 games and 30-plus points.
Seahawks are that Miami. Like, dude, think about how explosive Miami Dolphins offense is. And I guess they did miss some games without Tua, and maybe that's the reason why they're not number one. But I mean, even then, you have your guy, Sam, Patrick Mahomes.
I know.
Behind Jared Goff in terms of like, I can't even say that. It doesn't even feel right to say.
It doesn't.
Where are you with the Ben Johnson stuff? Because this is insane.
If I were an NFL team and I was looking at firing my coach, I would call Ben Johnson immediately. So obviously, as a Lions fan, of course I'm terrified of losing Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson should get some looks. What he has done with this offense, it is 6th in the NFL in scoring offense, which I know that this offense has an elite offensive line, but I don't know if this is necessarily a 6th-ranked scoring offense without some creativity and with play calling, and that's what Ben Johnson has brought. And it's not like the personnel is that much different than it was during the morbid Anthony Lynn days. And what Ben, basically right when he came in, after a couple games where it wasn't so great, their offense improved exponentially. In the first 11 games last season, the Lions were averaging 15.8 points per game, and most of those were with Anthony Lynn calling plays. And then in the last 6, they averaged 25.2 points per game after they kind of got their legs under them. Jared Goff took off. Amon-Ra St. Brown took off. Josh Reynolds came in and was an integral part of this team. And then this year, they're averaging 26.3 points per game and are 6th in the NFL in scoring. And I think a lot of that has to do with Ben Johnson. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff were there last year under Anthony Lynn. They didn't do really anything. Jared Goff was having a terrible season. Amon-Ra St. Brown had, I believe his stats in the first 10 games were 39 catches for 352 yards, 0 touchdowns. So, decent for a 4th rounder, but now he's a star. And if you're a team looking at this Lions offense and how good it is, that they've scored 30.6 times, that they're 6th in the NFL in scoring, what they did to Jacksonville, they didn't punt once. I'd be like, I want that guy. I truly believe Ben Johnson is one of the most valuable coordinators in the NFL right now. He's next man up. The Lions will lose him.
100%. Do you think it happens this year, though? Like next year?
Honestly, I credit to Adam Beydoun. He brought this up on the morning show. What if the Chargers want to fire Brandon Staley?
Oh, my.
Imagine Ben Johnson coming in with Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams,
Josh Palmer, Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, yes. Like Rashawn Slater as an offensive lineman.
Everett.
Yeah.
Like that is a hell of an offense that has, in my opinion, capable of being maybe like top 3 to 5, and Justin Herbert is capable of being one of the 3 to 5 best quarterbacks. And imagine a Ben Johnson offense with that talent.
Yeah, it'd be very impressive. And that is what people are thinking of, because there are a lot of teams out there. You know, what if the Raiders move on from Josh McDaniels?
That's another good one.
But, you know, it obviously didn't work out in 1 year. What if they just say, okay, this Belichick shit's not working out. Move on from him. That would look pretty good, too. Go into that offense. Maybe they re-sign Josh Jacobs. Probably not. But still, you have Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. You can do a lot with that. So the dude is going to have options. If if NFL teams are calling, they're going to want Ben Johnson for sure. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. Defensive coordinator saying, this offense is hard to prep for because of all the different the wham blocks they do with the tight ends, the different things, the different run schemes, let alone the running game, but the passing game on top of that, how intricate the different things are that they set up based off of prior action in the game on those same exact looks, same exact plays. They can run 5 different plays.
Yeah.
So it's impressive to see what he's doing with this Lions team who was void of a lot of their skill talent for a long time this year. And so, like you said, if he goes to the Chargers and he's sitting there with Justin Herbert, who can make every single throw in the book, has a top 3 arm in the NFL, Austin Eckler, the best pass-catching back in the league,
4th in receptions
Keenan Allen, who is right up, like, deservedly to be in that list of fighting for top 10 position, and Mike Williams, who I thought was going to make that push this year but had been barred because of injury. That's a lot for him to play with.
I should have actually put Keenan Allen as my number 10.
Keenan Allen, it was hard for me. It was between Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans. I was like,
We got to go to break, but real quick before I do, Flannel Sam, you all obviously make great points, and it would definitely. No one is reinventing the intricate run blocking scheme that Ben Johnson has. That Jeff Schwartz, a former NFL guard himself, was like, the reason why you don't see that stuff is too complicated. We are royally screwed when Ben Johnson leaves. And I hope whatever needs to happen happens so we can keep him and hopefully win a few playoff games, and dare I say a Super Bowl with him before it happens. And I'm hopeful, obviously, with the term Super Bowl there. But Spinny,
like the way Eric Bieniemy is just staying with the Chiefs for that long. Well, I mean, there's also other factors of why he's not getting a head coaching job. He's black.
His face is made of chocolate.
That's part of the reason why NFL owners are not hiring him. Hopefully the Lions can hold on to Ben Johnson like that.
That is my one. He's not black, but Ben Johnson is
that's
like.
my one wish.
Obviously, that's part of like being a coach too, right? Is like being a.
We might have to get some fish pictures ready.
With Ben Johnson.
Keep Ben Johnson in town. Yeah.
We'll have to Photoshop him doing blackface. But tell us about Lady Jane's.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home, up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Buy or sell your home. Whether you're a player or a fan, helping you buy, sell, or invest is Michael Phillips' top priority. Being in the game for 23 seasons makes Mike the #1 option for anyone. If you have real estate needs, call Michael Phillips at 313-403-0011. That's 313-403-0011. Michael Phillips, game on.
What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights Live at WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy, joined by my man Spinmo Rax.
What up, though?
Got young Chris in the TV booth, JB Smooth the 1 2. Man, rocking along. I'm sorry, Flannel Sam, I forgot about you and your hot dog suit.
It's all right.
Flannel Sam's here too, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Hey. The ghost of Flannel Sam after he got killed by Lindsey Hunter.
Yeah, this is the ghost of Flannel Sam. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Obviously, we're talking about the Detroit Lions.
I
guess your concern level of losing Ben Johnson. We're going 100% to lose this guy to a head coaching job at some point. Unless we find some pictures of him doing blackface.
Pictures of him in blackface.
And maybe we send Fish on the mission.
Maybe we send Fish on a mission.
The same mission we gotta send him in for Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Hop in bed, get a couple pictures.
Yeah, it's all they own. Fish would be down.
I'd hope so, because
it's for the good of the city.
It really is.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going next year though? Obviously, we know he's what he is to us.
I don't think it's going to be. I think he'll be the Lions' offensive coordinator next season.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't know. It gets pretty loose after that, especially if he puts up similar numbers.
JB,
what's up?
Where you at, Ben Johnson? Would you forgive him if we made him do blackface just to stay here as our offensive coordinator?
If that keeps him here, I'm happy with it. I will accept it. I would accept it this one time. But question for you guys: what if, and this is hypothetically speaking, what if Denver comes calling? Do you think he could turn around that whole offense?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he could.
100%.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's an option right there. If you think Denver picks up the phone and just drops a bag.
Pick up the phone, babe.
I mean, the one I think he'd go sprinting to is the LA job.
LA, yeah, for sure. You get to live in LA.
Yeah.
You get Justin Herbert as your quarterback.
Dude, yeah.
He's going from Jared Goff to Justin Herbert I'm free! No, but it's... Oh, man, it's scary. It's scary to think about. It really is.
Because I'm looking at some teams towards the top of the draft, obviously, meaning they're not doing well this season. The Texans, who just got... Lovie Smith is in his first year with them, but obviously they're not scared to fire guys right away. You have the Bears, which I'm assuming they're gonna. I don't know. Actually, I can't say for sure they're gonna stick around with their head coach.
They're not. They're gonna keep Eberflus for a little bit longer.
You're right. They traditionally do.
This is his first year, right?
Yeah.
For sure. They're not gonna fire him.
That hiring was a bit of a head scratcher.
And they traded all of their best pieces.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, you're right. They're keeping him. Obviously, the situation in Denver, McVay is staying unless he retires. He's not going to get fired. Saints are in their first year. Panthers going to be available. That's about it. Oh, you know what? Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
I wouldn't want to be Kyler Murray's coach.
Why can't I think of the hell? What's his name?
Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury.
There you go. He could be on the hot seat. Colts. There's some teams, but I mean, how much do you think like leadership goes into it? Because like looking at like Mike McDaniels heading into this, and obviously I don't know him personally, but like I never thought
Mike McDaniels is cool as hell.
He is.
He's a cool guy.
And you see all the clips on like Twitter of him like being like
yeah, he's like, you know what we should do?
Yeah.
Should do the one where you get open for a touchdown. I like that one. I swear to God, Mike McDaniels just chills with D-Mac before every game.
Oh, for sure.
This dude just gets ripped and goes out there. He's like, let's run a spider 3 wide banana. And then they do it as touchdown. He's like, yeah.
He's in the locker room.
He's like Ryan Lentz. If Ryan Lentz was a football coach, he'd be Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, but Ryan Lentz doesn't smoke.
Yeah, I know.
Mike McDaniel definitely smokes.
Ryan Lentz, I mean, maybe Mike McDaniels doesn't. He's just got the chill-ass personality like Ryan Lentz.
Smokes. He paid his tuition off of selling weed, 100%.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but there is one thing actually, because I was going to say, like, how much of, like, the leadership goes in, like, hiring a guy as your head coach? You just hire him all of, like, credibility for, like, X's and O's. And I guess... Man, no, man, you know, they can't get hired off X's and O's because Matt Patricia was hired as our head coach here. But we're also like the worst franchise and possibly all of sports. I'm sorry. I know Lions fans do listen, but that's just the reality situation. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
But Mike McDaniel, I did see a clip of him. I did see a clip of him on Twitter. He was like, I effed up. I think it was Kyler Murray. Or, sorry, Tua.
Tua? Yeah, I've seen that. He's very accountable, and he's got... That's what it is. You don't have to be Dan Campbell to get a head coaching job in the NFL.
That's
I know
actually a perfect
everybody likes that. You don't have to be Dan Campbell. You don't have to be Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
You can be Sean McVay. You can be Kyle Shanahan.
Nerds.
You can be Mike McDaniel, who is like the biggest outlier of it. Like that dude looks like a total nerd, but damn can he coach some offense. Like damn can he draw up some schemes. So that's results over flash. You know, results over gaga. It's the guy is impressive in what he's doing. He's making Tua look like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Fun fact too, I don't know if you guys know, Matt Patricia was the one who hired Ben Johnson into the Detroit Lions organization as tight ends coach. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. And he stayed with Campbell. Yeah, I know, boo that man. But speaking of Dan Campbell, there's obviously been questions about him and his head coaching, and I want to know. I've leaned on a lot of this resurgence due to like the defense and them emerging. We have a whole conversation about that one. Shout out to AG, defend the Glen. But Dan Campbell,
Lions fans,
do you think he's improved or has been coaching different too? You think that's a part of it as well? Because like
Dan Campbell, yeah, he's definitely been coaching differently. He's improved. He's learned from some of his mistakes. I talked about it. They're the least penalized team in the NFL in the past 5 weeks. So the guy is going out there. He's making sure that they are being prepared and being disciplined in what they're doing. His clock management has gotten better. He's not just going for it on every fourth down. He's taking points in situations when it's probably a good idea to take points. Maybe that is the confidence of having, you know, Michael Badgley back there who can actually knock down some kicks, or he is learning from the mistakes of his past, from the sins of his fathers. Like the guy is going forward. He is learning on the job. He is making better decisions, and it's a good thing to see. He's still not technically sound when it comes to clock management. There are still some questionable things that he makes decisions on, but he's getting better, and that's what you can ask for out of a second-year coach, out of a guy who has never done this before. Is you want him to improve week by week, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think because the one thing I noticed too is like. The fourth down attempts, they've slowed down quite a bit.
Yes.
Like he's actually like kicking field goals with those opportunities rather than going for it. And I get that like some of the scenarios, like I guess in judging that as like we're winning in these games, you don't necessarily have to go for the fourth down. We aren't down double digits at that point because again the defense has gotten better. But I thought this was an interesting stat. During the 4-1 win streak that we're on right now, we're 66% on the fourth down conversions with only 6 attempted.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 games prior to that, 17 times Dan Campbell called the go for it on fourth down, and he only converted 8 of them, totaling to 47%.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they're different scenarios too. Like I think a lot of this resurgence is due to the defense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think he's got some confidence and money badger too.
The resurgence is majority because they traded T.J. Hawkinson. Like, that's all that was wrong with this nonsense.
Fun, Sam, because this is a big thing for Dan Campbell heading into this week too against the Vikings. This is the game where he fumbled the bag in the beginning of the year. Are you confident he learned from that mistake?
See, it's tough because on one hand, you got to give Dan Campbell credit because what were we looking for this season for market real improvement, and they've done it. We're talking about this team in playoffs at this point. I think at this point, 8 wins is probably their floor. And going from 3 to 8 wins as a head coach is huge. And you see a guy like Ben Johnson, he's succeeding under Dan Campbell. Aaron Glenn has made improvements as the year has went on, and so have a lot of the players. They've gotten healthier. So yeah, Dan Campbell deserves a lot of the credit for the team's resilience after being 1-6, going all the way to 5-7 and talking about playoffs. The one thing that does concern me a little bit is the clock management. I don't think he handled the clock very well at the end of the first half or the second half of the Buffalo game, and I don't think he put the Lions in the best position to win that game with his clock management. Obviously, the Vikings game, that was egregious.
Yeah.
And we all know that. We all know that the Lions should have won that game. Hell, they probably should have won the Buffalo game, and Dan Campbell helped kind of fumbled away with his coaching decision. So I'm very, very happy with how the team is playing. They're playing hard. They're playing disciplined. Dan Campbell's not going for it as much. He's taking points when need be. But at the same time, I want to see him in a close game with a lot on the line. Him just run the game right and not fumble it away. Am I confident he'll be able to do it? Let's just say I'm more confident now than I was a few weeks ago. And I think that in and of itself is a testament to Dan Campbell and the cachet he's gotten from winning games as a head coach.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, the Minnesota was the game. I've always been like, well, all these people, I've held the flag for house patience, but the Minnesota game, I lost it. We had that Ravens video of the Ravens fan punching the pumpkin and going psycho.
Yeah.
I was like, probably 25% of that. I was pretty pissed off.
Yeah, it was a tough loss. You had it in the grasp of your hands. It would have changed the trajectory of the Lions season if you win that game.
And lately he's looking worth his money.
Yes.
But he ain't looking as good as money because I don't think he shops at Moneyball Sportswear. Not yet, at least. Not until I tell him about it, because he can check out Moneyball Sportswear because it's his one-stop shop. If he wants some dope athletic apparel or he needs uniforms for the Detroit Lions team, Moneyball has it all. They even got their own showroom down in Southfield. It's the only way to ball. Check them out, guys. Or moneyballsportswear.com. Moneyball. It's the only way to ball.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network is The Butchery. Call 248-682-2697. Yes, 248-682-COWS. Or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery. Meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for. Wagyu meats and artisan breads inspired by the legend, Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. And like I said, congratulations to Chef Dave on having another child. You know that guy's meat works. You know he knows how to handle his meat. So go buy some at thebutcherysl.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris is in the TD booth. JB's moving 1s and 2s and playing on Sam in a hot dog suit on the mask chair. I was laughing because I looked up and caught a ESPN doing a story on an injured. Never mind. It's a female basketball player. I was like, why we? Numbers are down for ESPN. I think we know why. But moving on, we talked about if you have some confidence in Dan Campbell moving forward. I guess, and this week specifically, because the Vikings game is the one he specifically definitely choked in. Pause.
Hey
yo. But I think, and we talked about have we seen him progress throughout the season as a head coach, and I think we have. I think we see him take field goals like when the opportunity is there. And I think having Money Badger, I should say, he has more confidence in him. Like Riley Patterson, I picked him up for fantasy one week. Dude sucks. All right, he's not as good as he was once portrayed when people were pissed off that he got cut. But I think the biggest resurgence for this 4-1 streak and us having some faith in these guys actually making the playoffs is the defense, Spinny. And we talked about it yesterday. We defended the Glen yesterday. We brought up a couple good stats, but even more crept out yesterday. What do you got for us?
Yeah, you look at these stats, and these are the Lions at the beginning of the season to the Lions in the recent stretch, and so through weeks 9 and 12, the Lions are 5th in completion percentage allowed. Through weeks 1 and 8, they were 31st. Through this past stretch, they are 2nd in interception percentage. They were 29th in the beginning of the season. Through the recent stretch, they are 9th in quarterback pressure percentage. At the beginning of the year, they were 25th. And they are 2nd in pressure rating recently, 32nd at the beginning of the year. So these are drastic changes. These are things that are important to playing good defense, like pressuring the quarterback, causing turnovers, not allowing the team to catch the ball. Like, these are important things for defense to do, and the Lions have stepped up. Seems the firing of Aubrey Pleasant has energized that defense. It has made them turn around and made them play a lot better than they did at the beginning of the year. And it's impressive to see. It's impressive to see Aaron Glenn working with this mixed bag of talent and rookies and second-year guys and going out there and putting on a great stretch of games defensively, pressuring the quarterback, causing turnovers, not allowing the team to get set and make completions. It's impressive. It is. These are things that win games in the NFL flat out. And the Lions defense has been doing it consistently for the past 5 weeks. And look at that. They're 4-1 when they're playing good defense. Like, yeah, it might matter a little bit. I think, if you want to get to the quarterback, knock him around, I think that's probably a good idea. And you see it. It's not just coming from one guy. It's not just Aiden Hutchinson. It is Josh Pascal. It is Kaminsky. It was Julian Okwara when he was playing. It has been James Houston recently. Ali McNeil with that game where he had like 12 pressures. It is impressive to seeing them doing it with a bevy of different players.
Was it a fat joke?
Yes.
You gonna call me a bevy like that in my face?
You bevy.
Choking on Frank, you fat. Flannel Sam, you weren't here for the Defending Glenn segment yesterday, and I should have been more hyped for it because I've been saying it all year. But you were here when we started the Defending Glenn catchphrase or political. What do you call it? Campaign phrase or campaign saying slogan?
Yeah, I was, and at the time, I just remember how much I was dogging Aaron Glenn after that Seattle game when they gave up 41 points, when they scored 45 and Seattle scored 48 if you include the pick six, and I was really, really critical of Aaron Glenn. And when the Lions started 1-6, I thought it was completely too late for any sort of turnaround to even matter. Turns out I was wrong. In the last 5 games, the Aaron Glenn-led defenses have given up less than 20 points 3 times. They've given up less than 10 points once. They're averaging, their points allowed per game is 19.8, which would be good for 11th if it was sort of stretched across a full season. And like Spencer said, the improvement from players like Aiden Hutchinson, Derek Barnes, freaking Malcolm Rodriguez, Jerry Jacobs, Jeff Okudah's been balling, Kirby Joseph, hell, even, I can't believe I'm saying it, Alex Anzalone.
He's been playing very well.
He has. Ali McNeil has been dominant at times. All of those players have shown steady improvement as the season has went along, and I think a lot of that has to do with coaching. I think Aaron Glenn probably as an outsider, looked at the defense and saw that it wasn't working. Obviously, Aubrey Pleasant got fired, but Aaron Glenn made some changes.
So I think it's the young guys. I think it's the young guys getting like better in tune, because we haven't seen much change in this defense outside of maybe Aiden standing up, and that was still during some of the bad times in the Dallas game.
So you think it's more just like improvement from young players getting healthy, stuff like that? I mean, it's a lot of the guys on defense are young guys. Rookies are contributing. Like 3 rookies at all 3 different levels are contributing heavily and playing great. So yeah, there is something to that maybe their rookie sort of jitters are under them. They're getting more acclimated to the NFL game. But that's still, it's just unbelievable how this defense went from being historically bad, I'm talking one of the worst we've ever seen, to being a damn good defense these last 5 games. Playing well enough to win on defense in pretty much every game. Like, if you allow less than 20 points in a game, that's a good defensive performance, and they've done it 3 out of the last 5 games. If you allow less than 10, you're almost guaranteed to win. And that is something that in the beginning of the year, we never thought in a million years that an Aaron Glenn-led defense would allow a team less than 10 points, would consistently hold teams to under 20. And that is, you do have to give Aaron Glenn a ton of credit. I mean, especially for a guy who was on the chopping block firmly, and I believe rightfully so. But how do you get off the chopping block? By performing, by putting together good defensive performances, by your players who you're coaching markedly improving. Defend the Glenn. I mean, this is the time to defend the Glenn. I know, Eazy, you were there before any of us. Time to take a bow. Aaron Glenn, he's been great. The players have improved. Take a bow, Eazy.
Take a bow.
Come on, you guys don't know.
Take a damn bow.
Do a curtsy. No, man, I've been saying defend the Glenn all day in here. And I got some numbers for you guys, some impressive numbers. And shout out to Pride of Detroit. They're the ones I stole these from. This is the Lions' defense against quarterbacks in the 5-game stretch that we've been quite impressive with. Flannel, Sam, what was the stat about the 28 points per game? Only 5 teams scored on 20? Or
it was in 3 out of the last 5 games, the Lions have allowed less than 20 points.
How is this? And this is crazy, right? Quarterbacks against the Detroit Lions in the last 5 games, only throwing for 57% completion percentage.
That's really good.
That's wild. You want some of these names? Oh, here we go. Here, it's perfect. So 57 completion percentage, which is ranks amongst first since week 9 to week 13. The passer rating 74, that's second, and then interceptions 7. The turnover machine got turned on at a certain point. And to me, and that's why I apologize for interrupting you during your take, Flannel, Sam, but I truly believe it is the players that have gotten better just because of like how young they were. And I think a lot of it, some of it too, is guys getting healthy. Josh Pascal is now a part of this defense. Jerry Jacobs is now a part of this defense, and we've seen him be effective both in the Bills game. He almost had an interception in the Jaguars game as well, in the end zone as well. Kirby Joseph, I think he's gotten better. You saw him with the 2 touchdowns he gave up straight up in the Seattle Seahawks game, going from that to then, at some certain point in the season, a turnover machine. The NFC Defensive Player of the Week in his rookie season. Aiden Hudson. Let's be real about it. There were points, and Flannel, Sam, we've had discussions with you as well. We were kind of like, I don't want to say we were concerned, but we were like, it's coming. It's got to come soon, right? Like, here it comes.
Where's it at?
Number 2 overall, right? And then boom, 2-point stance. Like, it's these young guys getting acclimated to the game. I said this yesterday too, but you weren't with us, Flannel, Sam. Only 2 of these gentlemen on the starting defense right now were starting with the defense last year, and that's Alex Anzalone and Liam McNeil. But outside of that, so I gave you that quarterback statistic, right? 57%. And you're like, damn, that's impressive.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen. Big names. So those 2 good quarterbacks, right?
Pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good quarterbacks, right? I'll even I'll go this far. Trevor Lawrence is almost coming to like himself as of late.
Yeah.
He was on fire heading into the game against us.
Yes, he was.
He had the highest completion percentage in the month of November. He had 174 yards in the 4th quarter against the Ravens, who have a respectable defense. Like Trevor Lawrence has been really good.
Yes.
I've defended the Glenn because I've seen spurts of this last year against Lamar Jackson, week 2 at home in Ford Field. I was like, how the hell is he even doing this right now? Which is crazy because we can't stop running quarterbacks this year, but I digress. Justin Fields in that list as well, who's kind of coming to his own. And then Daniel Jones, no, you're not going to say he's amongst the greatest, but he's having a pretty solid year. And if we say anything for sure, he was like, I want to say clean in the pocket. He only had 2 interceptions in the year, and then boom, we doubled that in just 1 game. On the road, by the way. Like, Aaron Glenn, defend the Glenn, you're damn right. I'm not taking a bow on it because, like, it's the same ish I've been saying all year.
Yeah.
You know?
You've been right on it, and you've been an advocate for this Lions defense, and it's been improving for sure. And if you need to improve your defense, there's only one place you can go, and that is Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm will keep you safe and give you peace of mind whether you're at home or on the road with their 24/7 local monitoring. They make sure the things that are important to you stay safe. All you have to do is call 1-800 Stay Out. That's 1-800 Stay Out right now, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff a Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward and Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff a Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Look at this guy. Nobody wants to look like that. That'd be terrible.
That'd suck.
That would suck. Everybody wants to look like that on the other side, because
sure, dude. Look at that.
Look at that.
Chiseled.
Hit up Chili Pepper Stand, hit up Custom Health, and you can be looking like that too. And our own Ryan Armani has done just that. He's lost over 20 pounds. Thanks to Custom Health Centers. Custom Health Centers has helped him get in shape, help him get down to the weight where he feels comfortable with himself. All you have to do, if you want the same results, is call 844-789-8446. That's 844-789-8446. Call today and let Custom Health Centers help you get into your best shape.
What up, though? Welcome back to the World of Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
Okay, young Chris in the TD booth, JB School, the 1s and 2s, and Flannel Sam in the hot dog shoot and the mass chair. We're talking about the defense and the turnaround of it, and it's some pretty damn impressive numbers. I mentioned obviously the completion percentage, but I want to shout this out there too. 7 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That's night and day. Like Sam said, we're in the track to be the worst defense in NFL history.
Dude,
what?
I'm sorry. Sam in the hot dog suit made me laugh.
Hey, yo, Sam, why don't you choke on a Frank, you fat bitch?
He was just sitting there like in the hot dog suit.
So I caught myself laughing a little earlier too.
It's classic. It's classic stuff. Hot dog suit will never not be funny.
It's fair. I have kind of grown it has its moments because Sam's such a serious guy.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's the best when he's in it. But you're also good too because your cheeks get all red.
Yeah, my cheeks. It gets hot in that thing, man.
Dude, I'm boiling right now.
Yeah.
But it's okay. When you lose, when have I ever not paid my
That's
debts?
fair.
Always
That's fair.
Well, we haven't had Hunter House yet.
Oh, that's right. I got you guys. I got you guys this week.
I'm just kidding.
To be cashing Hunter House for pizza though, or
it doesn't matter to me.
What do you think's cheaper, Sam?
Whatever's cheaper. Yeah.
Pretzel pizza.
Whatever's cheaper.
No.
Pretzel pizza.
No. Squirting in the water bottle like a cat.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist yet. But when it comes back.
Yeah, whatever's cheaper.
All right. Brooklyn pizza sounds kind of expensive though. It might be a little pricey. I ain't gonna lie. All right, guys.
Anything New York is expensive.
I teased it. And I want to let you guys know, you still down to do this, Benny? Are you sure you want to take on the golf defenders? Or should we
Yeah, dude. I'm not scared of these losers.
All right. I told you guys we're opening up the phone lines. And I haven't seen the golf gobbler in the chat. I was kind of wishing he'd be here.
The golf gobbler.
The golf gobbler, because the floor is open. All right. I felt as if it was unfair at times when we get to bashing Jared Goff, just because it's kind of like you and I who hold the same opinion on him, and then it's JB who kind of JB, where are you with Jared Goff? Are you kind of like with us, where he's like kind of like the mid-tier to good level, or what?
He's mid. I mean, he's acceptable right now for a quarterback. He's just your average guy. He's comparable probably to like Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll get the job done, but he's not gonna win you those big time games that you need, those Super Bowl games, those playoff games. So he's doing his job right now. I mean, he'll probably be our quarterback next season, but it's not gonna stop us from looking at a quarterback in this draft, whether that's our first pick or that second round pick.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like a factual statement, too. Like, Brad Holmes came out last year, and he came out of the closet, and then everything – I'm just kidding. No, but he came out last year on the Rich Eisen show. I said came out. That's immediately where my brain went. But he was on the Rich Eisen show, and they asked him, how come you didn't draft a quarterback this year? And he's like, we just – and the league felt this way, too. We didn't see Kenny Pickett was the only first-round quarterback. We didn't see another one picked up until, like, the third round, if I'm not mistaken. And it was like Desmond Ridder was the first one. I don't know if you remember or not, Sam, but he said we had very transparent conversations with Jared Goff, and that he's going to need to, keep his job. He's going to have to like work for it, But Flannel Sam, you actually tweeted like you shot out a live tweet during the game.
I did.
You said Jared Goff a damn good quarterback. Now I don't know how much you were drinking. I don't know what's going on with the situation. Where are you now with this conversation?
It's funny how things work out that way, because Jared Goff is objectively having a good year for the most part. And
you don't say that.
That Jacksonville game, it did something to me, man. Like, it awakened something in my fandom that I don't know if I've ever felt before. And one of the reasons was when you beat down a team by 26 and thoroughly dominate them, and your offense is unstoppable, how are you supposed to feel? Like, that's what good teams do. And Jared Goff, I mean, I get it. He had a lot of time to throw, but he was hitting dimes. He was throwing dimes to Amon-Ra St. Brown. DJ Chark, welcome to the season. Like, Jared Goff had a damn good game, and he's capable of that from time to time. I think his ceiling is the 10th best quarterback in the NFL. And I know that's probably higher than you guys would have him, but if they have a roster around him, he's proven that he can take a team to the playoffs, take a team to the Super Bowl, although he was kind of a coattail rider. But what the Lions are building, what Brad Holmes is drafting, I think they're putting together a roster that Jared Goff can eventually maybe next year, and maybe this year even lead him to the playoffs, and maybe next year win a playoff game or two. I know the ultimate goal is the Super Bowl, but Jared Goff right now for this team, I believe this year, right here, right now, is one of the strengths. I know you guys are going to disagree with me, but he's been playing well this year, man.
You can't disagree that he's been playing. He's been playing well this year. Yes, especially the past 5 games. It's not just the defense has been playing well. Jared Goff has cleaned up on the turnovers. There's a certain point where he was, I think, 4th overall in turnovers in just the league that year. And there's more than just interceptions. I know a lot of people look at the interceptions and say, like, oh, he's only like tied, I think was it 12th or 15th right now for interceptions? But at a point, you have to add in the fumbles too, because those come often. And the reason why I think you still need to draft, and again, you guys are more than welcome to call in, because I felt bad. I just felt like an unfair conversation. It felt like a golf bash, even though of the opposite. But
I'm not mad at people like what Sam is saying.
Golf gobblers?
No, Sam's not a golf gobbler. I'm not mad at people saying
Glizzy gobbler.
Jared Goff is having a good season. I'm not mad at people saying Jared Goff can win you playoff games. Jared Goff can win you games in the regular season, because that is true. It is proven.
Yeah.
And he is having a good season. What I get mad at is when people call him top 10 and when people say that he is the quarterback of the future, because it's just $30 million is not your future.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he's necessarily the quarterback of the future, but I think what this season has proven is that even with the Lions, which is something that we definitely didn't know last year, even with the Lions, along with the roster upgrades and the coaching that Ben Johnson is giving, that Jared Goff can take the Lions to the playoffs. He can take the Lions to win a game or two in the playoffs, maybe even the conference championship. Do I think he's necessarily the quarterback of the future? Right now, I don't think so. But a couple weeks ago, I was thinking, hell no. So I don't think it's that far-fetched.
A really smart guy in the Woodward Sports chat, Danny Raxter. Danny Raxter. He says, Goff is not the quarterback of the future. He didn't take LA to the Super Bowl. Their defense did in spite. It's true. He didn't throw a touchdown in that whole playoff.
And I want to say this point, too. We talk about the offense and how we're scared of losing Ben Johnson. Again, I'm giving Goff credit. Goff is having a good year. But it's under Ben Johnson.
Yes.
And his play calls. We saw what Jared Goff was without Ben Johnson last year. With the same weapons, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't pretty. And that's why I think you still have to draft somebody, because as great as Ben Johnson is, that means he's probably going to be on his way out to a head coaching job.
For sure.
And when you lose Ben Johnson and you're then stuck with Jared Goff without Ben Johnson, you had the Jared Goff of old. The Jared Goff that was traded for Matthew Stafford, the Jared Goff that led us to the number 2 overall pick last year. You have that version of him. And then you're also paying him $30 million on top of that. Now we have our first, I don't want to call him Joe? Joe, are you a Glizzy Goff gobbler?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Did you call in to defend Jared Goff?
Yeah. So in the beginning of the season, I predicted, I think it was during Big D Energy, and Flannel Sam was there, and I said Goff's going to have 4,000 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and 68% completion percentage. And Flannel Sam was like, well, I don't think so. That's going to be his best season ever, and possibly a top 10 quarterback. Well, look like I was right, huh?
Well, what's up, Flannel Sam?
Yeah,
Sam to his face this time, Flannel Sam.
Yeah, Flannel Sam, what you got to say about that, Flannel Sam?
I mean, for the record, I don't think he's going to get to 30.
I don't think so either.
But Jared Goff is having a really good season. I mean, he's definitely not the problem with this team. And like I said, the connection he has with Amon-Ra St. Brown, like the way that he sort of understands Ben Johnson's offense, just right here, right now, with this team, with this coordinator, with this roster, Jared Goff's not the problem. And your prediction, I don't think, is going to end up being that far off. I mean, he's on pace for probably, like 25, 26 touchdowns, maybe like 10, 11 picks. That's a good year. I think we would have all taken it from Jared Goff if that's what we known we would have gotten.
Joe, we got a couple guys waiting in line to call, but if you want to make a bet with Flannel Sam, have him do something crazy if he reaches those numbers you predicted. Put it in the Woodward Sports chat and we'll hold him to it, all right?
Hey, thanks a lot, you guys. You guys do a good job, man. Keep it up.
Appreciate you calling, Joe. Our next caller.
Take care, guys.
Oh, you already know who our next caller is. Take a wild guess.
It's Scott Klingler?
It's Scott. I'm pretty sure it's Scott Klingler. What up, though, Scott?
Not too bad, you guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
What's going on, Scott?
Well, what are your feelings on Jared Goff, Scott? How are you feeling about him?
I'm feeling pretty damn decent about him. I mean, he's a lot better than that Nate Sudfeld he's got backing him up, to be honest. I'm a fan of Jared Goff. I was a fan when he got brought out of college and got drafted to the Rams. I was a huge fan of him then, and I still am now. Like, it was a matter of getting that offensive coordinator and head coach to just mash well with the QB.
Okay, that's fair. And do you think Jared Goff is the Lions' future? Do you think he is the guy going forward?
I would hold on to him for another year because I don't really believe in C.J. Strauss or Bryce Young, so I would hold on to him for at least one more year and tempt the waters then.
I like that. Scott is a reasonable man.
Yeah. I mean, my only beef is, like, the problem with this draft is, like, we have the draft capital to move up if you like a guy that much. Yeah. And, like, we're also kind of early on. I don't know if that's going to be the case moving forward. We have a couple callers in the queue. We're taking on the Goff callers.
Michigan's running the table, baby.
Let's do it. Let's do it, Scott. Maybe so. Maybe so. I appreciate you calling in, man. I'm going to pay some bills.
Have a great night, gentlemen.
Thank you, Scott.
You too, Scott. Call in. Defend Golf. We're taking on the Golf Gobblers. But before we do that, Spinny, where can you get a nice glizzy that's not Sam?
If you want to gobble some golf, you can go to Big Boy, because all new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not the Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. Don't forget about upgrading those fries. They got chili cheese fries, they got nacho fries, and they got the banger of all bangers, baked potato fries. So make sure you go satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy. We'll be right back with some more of your calls.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Chili Peppers Tannings, where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms with trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals, where they beat all competitors by $5. $5, y'all. And while you're there, do yourself a favor. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest balls, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way.
After we made fun of Chris for like stumbling on his read, he was like, I did like speech classes growing up. I felt so bad. What up, though? Welcome back. Did you say you took like
No.
Did he not?
I don't know.
No. This was actually supposed to be a private story that I was going to reveal one day on one of my accounts, but I had fluid in my ears as a kid, so I just spoke. It took me a while to speak because everything sounded underwater as a kid.
Yeah, you see, Easy, you're a piece of shit.
You look like you had fluid stuck in your ears as a kid. No, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Damn. Come on here and slap this guy. I got your back.
Put it on the 2 cameras.
Bring on the Golf Gobblers, all right? The Woodward Everyway's live on WoodwardSports.com. Who we got next, JB? This one's got question marks. He needs to come up with smoke.
That's probably Adam.
What up, though? Question mark. The Riddler, if you will. He hung up.
Got scared.
He got scared. Bring on the next one, brother. Yeah. Undefeated so far. That's how I'm feeling. This one is next Golf Gobblers. This is George.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
What up?
What's going on, George?
No, this ain't George. This is Kyle. What's up, guys?
What up, Kyle?
So you guys, I watch Adam and Jeff in the morning, and then in the evenings I watch you guys, of course. But I had a question. I hear you guys getting on the conversation of finding QBs in the future and everything, and I kind of just wanted to know what your issue with golf was.
Yeah, so it's not so much an issue with him specifically. I mean, if I did have an issue, it's definitely like the salary cap. But I understand like that was part of the trade that the Detroit Lions made with the LA Rams in order to off Matthew Stafford and get extra draft capital. More so, my issue is with like the fans, I guess, believing in him and maybe being the future. I think we've seen him again before Ben Johnson was awful. I think if Ben Johnson continues to be what he's been, which is brilliant by the way, we're going to lose him as an offensive coordinator. Then we're stuck with the Jared Goff of last year on a $30 million salary.
Yeah, for me, it's the same thing. If Goff was on, a $15 million a year salary, you wouldn't hear me complaining about it. It's when you look at that, and yeah, it's cool now because of all of the young pieces we have, but the Lions are going to have to eventually sign, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Jeff Okudah, all of those guys, and I'd rather have all of them signed and ink to a contract than a guy like Jared Goff. If it was one thing about his game that I don't like, it's the lack of arm strength and mobility.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I get that, but what I've read into the reason why Goff is having success with Ben Johnson so much is because he finds what he's good at, and he looked back at tape at what he did in LA the year that he went to the Super Bowl with them. So my point to you guys is this: I personally am okay with Goff, and the fact that he's been to a Super Bowl definitely puts him higher up as far as getting guys out of the draft. Because I've heard a lot of people talk about let's draft this quarterback or that quarterback. And as far as drafting a QB, I think it's good to have as a backup plan, but I think you guys are a little hard on Goff. I like what he's doing, and even if Ben Johnson were to leave, who's to say that they couldn't, keep him doing what he's good at? And as long as he's producing from what we've seen him do this year, I think the Lions are set. I don't think the issue is at QB. I think that we just need to keep on building this team. And, I don't have a problem with Goff.
Yeah, I think
I understand you. I appreciate you calling in, Kyle.
For sure,
appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you for listening. And that whole thing about that is also an excuse I don't really like. Is that no matter where it is, whether it's head coach, quarterback, whatever it is, if you want to move on from somebody, people get scared and they're like, "Well, who are we going to get then?" That's not my job to figure it out. People get paid to do that. People get paid to make their decisions, go through their reads, and pick somebody to fill that in. That's why they're there. So I have faith in them, i.e. Brad Holmes and his department. And secondly, Jared Goff made the Super Bowl on his rookie contract.
Yes, that's the point I was going to get to.
That's what happens.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a statistic out there. I don't know if you've watched, and thank you again for calling in, Kyle, and tuning into the show as well.
Appreciate you, man.
I've said it on the show plenty of times before. I don't know if you were here to hear it, but majority of quarterbacks that go to the Super Bowl, win Super Bowls are on their rookie deal, or they're on those team-friendly deals. There's never been a quarterback to have more than 12% of the team's salary cap space to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And the only one to do it was Tom Brady. You're asking Jared Goff to be Tom Brady, who we just saw the reason why he's the GOAT last night, too, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys say, Flannel Sam.
Facts.
All right, give me the next golf gobbler. Who we got here? This one's Logan, it looks like. No? Throw them on. I'll ask them their names. I apologize. I can't read this thing. Actually, I can make this bigger. Is this Logan? What's up, Logan?
Yes, this is Logan. Nothing much. How are you guys?
Good. How are you, man? Thank you for tuning into the show, and thank you for calling in.
No problem. I'm just calling to give a different perspective on the Goff situation. So, remember last year, right? Goff started picking it up towards the end of the year.
Yes.
And that was around the same time St. Brown started picking it up. And if you look back on this year, Goff played not his greatest football when St. Brown was out against New England and Dallas when St. Brown was more so limited. So my buddy gave me a perspective yesterday. You remember Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers played two of his best seasons with Davante Adams. This year without him, he's not playing too well. So my buddy pitched the idea, what if Goff is putting up the stat line because of St. Brown being there?
So the only, I guess, an argument, I guess, pertains to like the Aaron Rodgers statement. So Aaron Rodgers actually had like a MVP prior to Davante Adams, and then if you, there's a site called StatMuse. It gives you like all the stats that Aaron Rodgers ever had, like without Davante Adams beforehand. And technically, right now too, Aaron Rodgers is still a top 10 quarterback statistically without Davante Adams. So the Smiths, the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff, I should say, the emergence of him definitely is helping him. Amon-Ra's been a tremendous talent, but I think who's incorporated him has been Ben Johnson, and that's part of the reason of like carrying on with Goff over anybody else too. Is my fear is like before Ben Johnson, like you said, Goff was like kind of crap, and then Ben Johnson came in, he saw something in Amon-Ra St. Brown. He got they got that connection cooking. They brought in Josh Reynolds, and the rest is history. So like if we lose Ben Johnson to a head coaching job, we're then paying a $30 million quarterback to be. What the LA Rams didn't want and what we were dealing with for majority of last year.
That's true. The combination of the three later on last year flew to stardom later on in the year. And then it carried on into this year. But, again, with the St. Brown being out, Jared Goff had the Lions in general had two of their worst seasons without St. Brown running more than 50% of routes, 50% of plays.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. I appreciate you calling in, though, man. Thank you.
No problem. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. We're running through these because we got a couple people on. I didn't expect this many people to call in. That's actually pretty cool. I think this next one's Dom, it looks like. Am I right in that, JB? Hey, Dom, you there? Or Don, I apologize.
Hello?
Don, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
What up, what up? Actually, my question has nothing to do with Goff. I want to know more about Baker Mayfield. Do you think he's going to screw up our draft position, or do we have anything to worry about?
I think Baker Mayfield's going to help the Lions get the #1 pick in the draft. Baker Mayfield sucks. I think even Sean McVay can't save that guy. He's terrible. He has a bad arm. He makes bad reads. He tries to trust himself too much, and even if they have Baker Mayfield, they still don't have Cooper Kupp. They still don't have Allen Robinson. They're down Aaron Donald for a couple games. So he's walking into it, and he doesn't have a lot of weapons. I think he's just going to make things worse. And the Rams were the only team to put in a waiver claim on Baker Mayfield. So it shows you how the rest of the NFL feels about him.
I'm surprised the Niners didn't, honestly. I guess they're going to roll Brock Purdy.
Yeah. He's kind of a – I mean, Purdy looked good, by the way.
Purdy looked good.
Yeah, he did.
Baker's like, not only is he like mid in terms of like talent and skill level, he's also a bit of a head case, a bit of like he couldn't survive as a backup quarterback in the Browns locker room. You know what I'm saying? And they had to let him go. He demanded the trade, and obviously he has to be released too. So like he's also a bit of like a pain in the ass, you know. But I'm with you a little bit though too. I am. What'd you say?
I say headbutting linemen and stuff.
Yeah. Being just a total weirdo.
Yeah. So I mean. I am concerned because it's probably more than likely a upgrade of like whatever they have right now. But I mean, we'll see. You know, it's probably gonna take them some time to get down the offense too. But I mean, that's a good question. I do appreciate you calling in, man.
Absolutely. Have a great night, guys.
You too. This one, Bloody Mary from the chat. What up, though, man?
What up, though? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Calling all the way down from Florida. We got to represent the D down here.
Let's go.
There you go.
Okay. So, easy. I'm going to debate you, and I'm going to break down your talking points. But before I do, let's have an honest conversation, right?
Yes.
This year, coming into the season, what was our realistic expectations, right?
7 and 10.
For me, it was, 7 and 10, 8 and 9, something like that progression, right?
Fair.
Okay. Can we also say that we looked at our drafts and said our defense, although we had great pieces, we didn't know how good it was, especially coming off of last season because it was bad, right?
Say the last one part one more time. I apologize.
Sorry. You're good. So, like, coming into this year, because of last year's defense, we were like, we got good pieces, but is it going to be better, right?
Correct.
So we still had questions on defense, and we still had, okay, what's going to happen with, our record, right? 7 and 10 was the realistic expectation, right?
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing. Why are we talking about Jared Goff's contract this year when the expectation is next year compete? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. The talking point you say, with him being 4th in the league, is good for 5 more games. Because next year, when we play, he will be 14th in the league, 10th in quarterback salaries, and that's not including Lamar Jackson's re-sign, or Joe Burrow's re-sign, Tua Tagovailoa's re-sign, and Herbo's re-sign. So what he's doing right now is he is playing he's a mid-level quarterback who is playing above his level right now, and he's doing well, but we don't need to be worrying about the salary. Does that make sense? You guys see what I'm saying? Because right now, he's fourth highest paid quarterback. But next year, when we compete, he's going to be the 14th highest paid player in the league, not the 4th. And hell, he may even be 20th by this time. So, like, that talking point, you only got 5 more games to use it, Easy. I'm sorry. Just going to tell you that right now.
That is fair. 5 more games for him to be the 4th highest paid quarterback in the league. But what still remains true, next year with that salary, he's still over 12% of your team's salary cap space. And I remind you again once more, I mean, look at the situation with Joe Burrow. They went to the Super Bowl. I mean, Jared Goff's an example himself, going to the Super Bowl on his rookie deal. Tom Brady, what he's routinely known for. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes on his rookie deal. Tom Brady routinely known for his taking team-friendly deals. I'm listening.
But that's dependent on what the salary cap's going to be next year. And there's a lot of economic reports out there where they could be anywhere from $220 million to $235 million.
Yes.
If you're looking at $235 million, and the reason why it's like that is because when COVID hit, it took a dip.
Yes.
When you've got something like that, if it's at $235 million, his salary was going to be 12% of cap.
Say it one more time.
If the salary projection is $235 million, right, for the entire cap, if it's $235 in that projection, his $30 million would be 12% of the cap.
Correct. And then again, I'll mind you, only Tom Brady has won with that amount of salary cap.
I understand that. I get that. Now, here's something. This idea is probably going to blow your mind. Jared Goff is going to be your quarterback this year, next year, and the following year. You want to know how I know that? It's because the year after that is when you have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Penei Sewell and Lee McNeil on contract years. You know what you can do with Jared Goff's contract? You can get rid of that one, sign your corner pieces, and then get your rookie quarterback.
Yeah, so that's fine. So he's not the quarterback of the future.
No, but he's the quarterback for the next 3 years.
I would have said
this year, the next 2.
I don't necessarily agree to the next 3 years. I mean, Brad Holmes has already been public and open with Jared Goff himself, having transparent conversations that if there's a guy that we feel is an upgrade over you, we're going to take him. You're going to have your opportunity to compete with him, but ultimately the goal is any position in the NFL is to upgrade. We do have to go to a commercial break. I'm down to have the conversation. Jared Goff's contract was still above 12% of 235, though, and it's just not being realistic about him, especially in 3 years too. If we lose Ben Johnson, I doubt he's performing to the level he's performing right now.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for calling in, man. We appreciate you for giving us your thoughts on it. It's definitely the salary cap's going up. Some people are going to get paid for sure, but
that was the first worthy Goff gobbler. He did a good job
for sure. He did.
Shout out to Bloody Mary.
He had the stats for sure, but even he wasn't Goff gobbling. He said all that, and then he's like, and then they'll get their gut, and that's what makes sense to me. True. It's like, I mean, I'm fine with Goff being a quarterback for next year, but he's not going to be the guy to lead them to the promised land of the future. That's my whole thing. That's what I get mad with Jared Goff fans. If they're like, he's our quarterback forever. He's going to do it. Like, pump the brakes a little bit. He's not. But I don't know how to transition to this, so I'm just going to tell you. The Butchery is the official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network. You can call 248-682-2697. Yes, 248-682-COWS, or move on over and order online at thebutcherysl.com. Shipping included for Woodward Sports customers. The Butchery, meats, eats, and treats. Sandwiches to die for. Artisan meats and wow, I'm messing up. Wagyu meats and artisan breads, inspired by the legend Chef Dave. Only the best of the best for our meat-loving customers. An old-school butcher shop from a new-school perspective. And again, shout out to Chef Dave for having another child. You know his meat works. You know he knows how to handle it. So why don't you go buy some at thebutcherysl.com.
It's back. Year 3 of Woodward Sports Stuff-A Studio is here. The past 2 years, we've collected new unwrapped toys and stuffed our studio so we could hardly fit in it. This year, we're doing it even bigger. Join Woodward Sports and our whole family December 19th to the 23rd as we stuff our studio. While you're out shopping or just sitting on your couch ordering presents, make sure you grab one extra and drop it off at our studio, 15 Mile in Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be collecting toys around the clock to make sure every child in Mott's Children's Hospital feels the warmth of the holiday season. It's the time of year to do for others. Help us stuff our studio. Special thanks to all the wonderful elves at Meyer and Guardian Alarm for keeping the toys safe. Stuff-A Studio 2022 with Woodward Sports.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
The holiday season here, Swiss Insurance wants to remind you to insure those gifts of jewelry or collectibles. In the last 2 weeks, Swiss has saved its clients an average of 26% on their insurance premiums. The Detroit Lions got insurance premium on Jared Goff's contract. I'm coming next year with that thing. While increasing coverage, that's a lot of money to free up for the giving season. Sign some free agents with it. You never know. Take a couple girls out. Happy Thanksgiving and Christmas from Swiss Insurance. And go Blue. I got to update that read. Thanksgiving's over, guys. Thanksgiving's over. What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights. I'm your boy Eazy, joined by my man Spitmore Raxter. We got Chris at TV Booth, JB Smooth with the 1s and 2s. Todd Winslow doesn't know how to use his internet correctly. And we do have one last caller before we move on to other topics. Warm up, Spinny. Because Buddy Mary, you know what I'm saying? He almost had us. He had me on the ropes.
Kim correct.
Who's his next call? Who we got? Johnny on the spot. What up, though, Johnny?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How you doing, going on, bud?
Oh man, I'm doing so good.
How's it going, Noah?
I love the show.
Thanks, Noah.
I fucking love it. Mind my French. But I will say that Jared Goff, oh, what a sexy human being. I mean, I know that people talk about his girlfriend. You know, she's got some knockers, let me tell you. But
Makes you just want to
get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Appreciate you calling him, bro.
Yeah, you don't think we know that, boys?
No, you're so good at doing the voices. That's where you came
That
with?
was the worst voice he's done ever.
Yeah, you've tricked us into thinking you were a female at certain points.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was fun. That was cool. That's the first time we actually had the phone lines work well for us. Shout out to Todd. Todd says, see it now. The Todd of Mover Sports Chat found the salary cap. I'm proud of you, Todd, for learning how to use your internet. You're my homie. And by the way, I typed in your name to show you. I was going to screenshot and send you, but then you weren't following, bro. What's up?
Damn.
Hit that follow button, Todd. That
messed
hurt.
up, Todd.
Cold. That definitely hurt. I got a couple places we could take this one if you guys want. We have the Rookie of the Year Detroit Lions edition, because as you know, the Detroit Lions have plenty of rookies balling right now. We have the Michigan situation. All right, let's do that. Let's show them some love, because Ohio State unfairly got a bye week into the playoff. Yeah. Well, an extra week of rest,
Sam,
I should say.
Take the stage. How do you feel about that?
About Michigan playing TCU? I mean,
hot dog suit got me.
I'm personally happy as hell about it. I think TCU is clearly the worst of the 4 teams in the college football playoff. Their defense is lackluster. I think that Michigan can just wear them down throughout the whole game, and they should win. And honestly, I think if Michigan fans were being honest with themselves, I didn't want any part of Ohio State in the first round. If we meet them in the national championship, which is unlikely, so be it. But I don't care if this sounds weak or not. We went into Ohio State and beat their ass.
Clobbered them.
Just absolutely took their manhood every single way, just snatched it from them. I don't want Ohio State to have the opportunity to right that wrong, because that it shouldn't be that way. Ohio State got in by default. It was because teams like USC, Clemson, Tennessee, who controlled their destiny, lost. But that being said, I think that I wouldn't say TCU is a bye to the national championship, but it is the best possible matchup that Michigan could hope for. And I don't think that they will overlook it because they have the bitter taste of last year's semifinals in their mouth. This is another hump for Michigan to climb over. They got to win this game, get to the national championship, and probably play Georgia and ride from there. I'm very, very confident and happy with how their outlook against TCU.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, deservedly so. That is the more favorable matchup.
King Horse is a savage.
What do you say?
He said Woodward Rookie of the Year, American History J. We made him cut his hair and go to SMA for counseling.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ, man.
Monster.
Oh, my Lanta. You don't think that extra week benefits Ohio State at all, or you think it is what it is? It's just whatever?
I mean, God, it does bother me a little bit that Ohio State got to take the de-pantsing that Michigan gave them and still make the college football playoff. I mean, did they benefit from not playing in the conference championship? I mean, I think USC sort of did the opposite. They lost their conference championship game, and it got them to 2 losses. TCU, they weren't punished for playing that extra game in the conference championship and losing that one, but they only had 1. I don't know. Ohio State, I think they're playing Georgia, so I think there's no buys. There's no amount of buys that can prepare Ohio State to play Georgia, who right now is a better team than Michigan even. I think Ohio State's going to get smacked by Georgia, and Michigan is going to end up playing Georgia in the national championship.
Do you think they win?
I think they have a better shot than last year.
That's fair.
I don't know if I'm calling for it yet. Let's see how it all plays out. Let's see how if Michigan goes in and takes care of business against TCU, clobbers them, wins by 3 scores, and Georgia looks somewhat vulnerable against Ohio State, then I will pick Michigan to win. But as of right now, I think Georgia's a little bit better.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't really think so about that Ohio State take. I think they might have a chance against Georgia just because that they got, their ass handed to them by Michigan. So now they're sitting at home, sulking, and now you've given them more time to actually prepare for Georgia right now. So they've taken their beating. They're actually going to learn from it and see that, hey, we luckily lucked up and got into this Final Four spot. We have to take care of business now. Now it's no more time for playing games. I think they're going to come as strong as they can against Georgia. Pause on that as well, too. But I think that they do have a chance of knocking off Georgia. And, once again, you're going to see Ohio State versus Michigan in a national championship. The committee sat here and ducked out on having Michigan and Ohio State play each other. That's just my thoughts about it.
Let me just give one pushback to the whole Ohio State has time to sulk over their loss and maybe play Georgia and beat them. Georgia. Ryan Day and Ohio State had an entire year to sulk over the 2021 beating that Michigan gave. This 2022 game, it was Ohio State's time to sort of right the wrongs. They had their manhood taken from them. They were supposed to win. They were favored. And then Michigan went in and de-pantsed them again. I just don't know if Ohio State can get to that level under Ryan Day that they got to under Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel. Ohio State is soft. They've proven that in big games, they are soft under Ryan Day. They're flashy, they're finesse, they're flashy, but they're soft. If they get punched in the mouth, they wilt like little flowers.
I agree.
It's true. And, if maybe Ohio State wants to get big, get tough, they can go to Planet Fitness. Because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. They have tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. You can get all this for just $10 a month. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Have an opinion? make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At Alta,
Uptime
matters. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You got a bog project coming up? Alta has you covered. Give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Again, that's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta equipment where
uptime
matters. We had a real steamy Pistons topic that I wanted to talk about, but
I got some stats too.
We only have like 6 minutes left, and I feel like it's good enough to save.
Yes.
You cool with that, Chris?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you think.
Let the record show my opinion reflects what's happening.
Hey, yo, chill. I'm playing. All right, we got some time to kill. Call it. I'm joking.
Was Blake Corum snubbed for the Heisman?
That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
No. Want one more? Nah. No. If K9 was in the Heisman last year or in New York for the Heisman, then Blake Corum, no.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. He hasn't had a Heisman moment. He wasn't like the highlight player. He's just on a damn good football team with a cupcake schedule. If we're being quite honest with it, and if you put up the numbers side by side, yards from scrimmage, K9 had beat by almost 200 yards. Like if K9 wasn't there, no. Does that excuse Stetson Bennett being there? No, it doesn't.
No. Solo cam sus. Sorry, Chris. Yes, Blake Corum was snubbed for New York.
Wow.
Blake Corum should be in New York over Stetson Bennett.
Who
you know
are
why?
You this week?
You know why?
Why?
Because I believe Kenneth Walker was snubbed for New York. So I'm not going to flip it around and say, oh, no, he didn't deserve it. They both deserved to be there. Kenneth Walker deserved it last year. Blake Corum deserved it this year. They were the best backs in their respective seasons by far. They went out there. They had explosive years. Kenneth Walker, 263 attempts, 1,636 yards, 18 touchdowns. Blake Corum, 247 attempts, 1,463 yards, 18 touchdowns. They both should have been in New York. If I'm saying Kenneth Walker deserves it, Blake Corum damn sure deserves it too.
That's fair. But I only said based off that standard, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I said K9 was snubbed this year.
Doesn't sound like you know what you said.
I said Blake. God, dude, what is wrong with me?
It's okay.
I said K9 was snubbed last year, so I'm saying Blake is snubbed this year.
That's fair. Flannel Sam, you shook your head when I was saying on my nose. What's up?
So, I actually don't think Blake Corum was snubbed unbelievably, and here's why.
Wow.
It's because Blake Corum, sometimes you have to punish a guy for getting hurt when there's a club as exclusive as the Heisman. He didn't have a chance to go out and make a statement at Ohio State because he couldn't play. He had 2 carries for 6 yards and was taken out of the game because he obviously should have never suited up in the first place. I think if he would have balled out in that game and balled out in the Big Ten Championship, I think that you could possibly make an argument that Blake Corum could have not only been there but won it. And it's kind of the same as Kenneth Walker last year. I think Kenneth Walker's season last year was better than Blake Corum's this year. I think the moment that Kenneth Walker had against Michigan where he basically beat them by himself was a moment that Blake Corum didn't have. But even Kenneth Walker, I think this has kind of gotten whitewashed from Michigan State history. That game that they had against Ohio State, where they just got beaten in biblical proportions, Kenneth Walker only had 6 carries for 25 yards, and he was also banged up. Sometimes when you have a chance to make a statement and you're either hurt or you don't do it, you're just not in the club anymore. Not everybody gets to be invited to New York.
But Stetson Bennett deserves it over.
No, absolutely not. I'd put in Hendon Hooker or Michael Penix.
Hendon Hooker was hurt and couldn't play in their biggest game of the year either.
But Hendon Hooker also had 5 touchdowns against Alabama. He had 27 touchdowns, 2 picks. And Michael Penix,
but he was hurt and couldn't play against Georgia.
Well, wait a minute.
It's been a weird year of college football because you had the playoff. You like a little funky like this.
I was about to say he did play against Georgia. That's why I had to pause.
But he bummed out.
Hendon Hooker played against
Georgia, but he was trash.
He was. No, Stetson Bennett should not be there. No. That's an absolute joke. I would put in Hendon Hooker or Michael Penix, who Michael Penix is another one. Washington had one of the quietest 10-2 seasons I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And look at where they were last year, didn't even make a bowl game. You bring in a good quarterback like Michael Penix, I would put him in over Stetson Bennett, and I would put Hendon Hooker in over Stetson Bennett. I would put Blake Corum in over Stetson Bennett, but I would put Hendon Hooker in over Blake Corum.
Very fair. Hentai Hooker isn't that guy, says Tyler Shabbat.
Where's that come from? Did he get caught watching anime porn?
No, it's funny.
It is kind of funny.
It is.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
So you partake?
I don't.
Yeah, you do. You're an anime nerd.
No, but I already told you, I'm going for Tiana Trump if I'm doing that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For 1,000%. She was number one.
She was number one.
Chris, who's your number one?
Throw goat.
We're not saying like what they do. We're just saying names.
Like, come on. I'm in lockstep with y'all. Tiana Trump.
Tiana Trump. JB, who's your number one?
I told you guys this yesterday. It's Lisa Ann all day.
Lisa Ann,
man. Yeah. She's just now.
Sam, are you allowed to say?
She's savage.
He's allowed to say.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Come on! I'll plead the fifth. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Anything you gotta say to me? Fifth. Go ahead and ask me a question. Fifth. All right, that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping in and joining us on the Woodward Heavyweights live Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, only on WoodwardSports.com. For the man to my left, the one, the only Speak Easy, we got young Chris holding it down in the TD booth.
That's right,
JB
Chris.
Smooth on the ones and twos, and Flannel in the mask chair in the hot dog suit. I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Shout 9 drinks.